Welcome, guys, to the second Pixels and Panels podcast. Yeah, you heard right. We have a new name. It's an old name, but we have took this name yet because we were more happy with that than our waifu's better than yours. With me here today is Raith, and I'm Sammy. Hello.
Hello guys, it's me, Rafe, the bad cop in this
The
episode
bad
again.
cop. Oh yeah, I love this already. This year's E3 finally started, and yeah, we got a little bit to talk about. This is going to be the first of two parts because E3 is just happening right now. It's not finished yet, and yeah, we have a little bit to talk about. Um, First off, yeah, how do I start? The thing is, we had three press conferences so far, and the very first one was EA. It was on Saturday, German time, and yeah, we had some things that seemed interesting. I don't know how to say this because I'm not big into sports games, and I believe Wraith isn't also.
No, it's all, let's just be honest, it's all the same shit. You don't need another FIFA, you just need a patch for the old one. But they still want to sell it as a full paid game, which is, in my mind, completely bullshit and stupid.
Yeah.
But people are buying it. I don't know. If you want to see all the ugliness in the faces as good as in the real world of the players, go ahead and buy it,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But I will never support it. The only times I played it were with a friend, and that's years ago. Uh, I wouldn't waste my
Yeah,
money on
we're just
this,
not big
to be
into sport
honest.
games, and we believe that people out there do like sport games. I don't think that people listening to this podcast do. But overall, we're giving an overall expression from E3 right now about the press conferences that happened so far. We are going to start with EA. And first off, we are not going to talk about all the titles that have been talked in the press conferences. We are only going to talk about the titles that interested interested us the most. Which basically means we are going to talk about what happened at the press conference, and after that we are going to talk about the titles that interested us. Which in terms of EA was here's Madden 18, here is NBA Live 18. Oh boy. And yeah, we had a stage demo of that. We had a journey trailer for FIFA 18. Of course, we had FIFA 18 also. Battlefield 1 is going to get an expansion, I think, in the name of the Tsar. Need for Speed Payback is going to be a thing. A Way Out, Star Wars Battlefront, and that's really it for EA. And now, Wraith, tell me, was there anything that interested you in this press conference?
Out of all these games, the
These
only
awesome
thing
games.
that maybe interests me is Way Out, which is what do you say, is a gangster duo breaking out from prison
Mm.
story,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like
which
that, yes.
is it's kind of hopeful. But I don't know how much of it will take in a prison. I do like the concept of you taking advantage of certain rhythms in the prison to try to break out. But the trailer kind of showed everything. So getting out in a forest,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
having kind of a driveway when people are following you, and one of the guys meeting his family and children and stuff. So I would prefer if you have more stuff like in the beginning with the trying to break out, because that seems interesting. If you have to, what I really hope is like following the rhythm of, for example, security in the prison,
Mm-hmm.
learning their patterns. Or really cool would be if they all the NPCs in the prison were designed, and you can get to know them and what they're like. But I think this is too much. I think it will be much more story focused and much more like a bromance between those two prisoners. So I don't think the gameplay, because I don't want to raise my expectations because I always want more than what most games will give me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I should hold back because I'm going to be disappointed either way.
Well, I'm not going to say that I'm going to be disappointed either way, but I feel you there. I mean, I'm a lot of times I'm disappointed because I held my expectations too high. This is what I'm not going to do this on this year's E3. Um, Here's the thing. What really got me interested in A Way Out is first off, it's by the makers of Brothers. If you haven't heard about Brothers, Brothers is a game that came out last year, I think, and it was a game where you control two brothers, and every brother was controlled with a stick. Like you had, it was a twin stick game, but it was an adventure puzzle game, and you had these two brothers that you were. So it was kind of like a co-op game, but not really. It was story focused, and it had some really smart riddles. I think it was really cool. Um,
Well, let me ask you that why wasn't it intended for the Switch? I mean, you can take the
um,
controller apart and you
I
can
can
play
tell
it
I can
co-op.
tell you just because of the fact that the Switch wasn't a thing back then. I
Yeah, I mean that's a joke.
oh
But just how the way you explained the gameplay
yeah.
to me, you would think, wouldn't you play this on the Switch?
Of course, this
Like
would be a perfect
that
Switch title. Yes, maybe it will be coming. I don't know, but it's yes, it would be a perfect opportunity for the Switch for a game for the Switch.
because you don't have to really adapt it to the Switch because the way you describe it, it would already work with the controller of the
Yes,
Switch, and it would become a real co-op game. So
yeah.
it feels like something you don't even have to really invest money to get it. But that's Nintendo. Nintendo is not known to be too reasonable with their marketing.
Well, yeah, in the last few years, or I'd say decade, they've been a little bit strange in their marketing. Yes, I can totally agree on that. Even though, first off, I just want to say I love the Switch. I think it's a fantastic console, and I hope there's going to be a lot more on the way for it. But we're going to talk about this later. So here in this reveal trailer of A Way Out, we see these two guys that you are going to play, but you are not going to play both of them. This game is completely meant to be played in co-op, either online or offline. It doesn't matter. And this is what I like about it is that it's going to try to tell a story in a 100% co-op game. And one player can be in a cutscene, another one can be just roaming around freely. It's really cool. I think the idea is really cool, and we'll just have to wait and see what they're going to make of it.
That's always the case with these trailers when there isn't gameplay. So, yeah, from the makers of Brothers. So they're going with the same theme again. I mean, not family brothers, but brothers in mind and
Yes.
spirit.
This is another interesting thing is that these two guys are going to meet in the game the first time. One is a guy that has been in jail for a long time, and the other is a new inmate.
Okay. Well, that's always difficult. If they're not established, then the game has to do a really good job with
Yes.
characterization
Hmm.
because many games it feels just forced when two new guys suddenly became best friends. Just remembering Resident Evil 5, which did it terrible, where you had a new female companion, and through the whole game they tried to force a connection between these two, but it just felt so artificial that never really got there. So at the end, I didn't really care about her and their partnership, but Resident Evil 5 wasn't really that great
No,
as a
I
game
think it
anyway,
wasn't that
so
great at all. What yeah, but I see where you're coming from. I think the game is. I just wanna go too much into a bad mood about this. I think it's a great game. what am I saying here? I think it's a great idea, and I hope they are doing great with it. Just like they did with Brothers. And for now, I'm just gonna wait and see. I think maybe this could turn out a really cool thing, and I love personally co-op games. Just playing on a couch with a friend or whoever.
That
really
thing is almost died out. I know a lot of times with a friend we look and if there is a nice co-op game, but it's always online, and there's just a different feeling if you're in the same room with someone when you can punch someone because he sucks. And that's something that should come back. Abuse in the household should come back, definitely.
I'm not going to say anything to that statement. No comment whatsoever. You're wrong.
Remember, I'm the bad
cop. Yes. Okay, bad cop. What else did we have on EA side? We had what I wanted to talk about, but just briefly, is Star Wars Battlefront 2. And how they fucked it up. I'm sorry, but I don't know how you can fuck it up after hearing so much criticism, after getting so much feedback, but they literally had the balls to show us 30 minutes of fucking multiplayer gameplay, which nobody fucking cares about, because multiplayer is the thing why this fucking game, the first one, failed. Nobody wants to see the multiplayer, everyone wanted to see the single player, but they haven't even really started working on that, so they couldn't have shown anything. And then they come with a statement that, yeah, we are totally gonna do a single player, a full campaign, yes, but we can't show you much of it, yes, and it's not going to be out when the game comes out. It's going to be free DLC, but promise us it's coming. I mean, what?
Okay, that is stupid. I mean, I wouldn't disagree.
Stupid.
I think people do want the co-op mode.
No, they want it. They want it. Yes. I'm not saying that.
But it's clear that there should be a story mode.
No,
and even some games that failed did that, and it turned out well. I know that Titanfall got quite boring for most people quite fast.
Yes.
And with the next game, they made the story mode, which was critical liked, not a great, not really a triple A title anymore.
Yeah.
But the story mode was received really, really well, which many people were surprised. And Star Wars has story. You don't have to invent it. You just need to make it playable, because everyone wants to play a fucking Jedi and cut through all kinds of people, or even more a Sith and brutally murder everyone. And that's I don't know. You're just wasting your Star Wars license.
You're wasting the Star Wars license, and the thing is, what really makes me mad about this is that it looks amazing. Like the first one looked fucking amazing. It just looks good, you know. It looks like Star Wars. It looks like you are playing Star Wars. But how can you fuck it up so bad? And in the second one, they are going to be like, we need to be finished before the next movie comes out. So the game is going to be out, but the story mode it's coming. We promise it's coming. So no, guys, don't do the same mistake twice. You know, last time you didn't have a story mode at all, and this time you are going to give it to us as free DLC whenever, when people are already pissed off about this game, where no single player is a thing. And here's the deal. When I said that people were pissed off about the multiplayer, about the 30 minutes multiplayer, it's not because they don't want multiplayer. Of course they want this. This is a fucking Battlefield game with the Star Wars paint on it. What they want is they don't want to see this at E3. They don't want to see more multiplayer at E3, and not for 30 fucking minutes in the press conference. That was just a really bold and stupid move, to be honest. I think that was really, really dumb.
Let's boil it down to a simple statement: show, don't tell.
Yeah. Show, don't tell. Yes. Okay, next thing. We had the Microsoft press conference with
Is there nothing more at E3
To be
that's
honest,
of interest?
on EA there was nothing else. For me at least,
Only
I
the
told you.
sports
Oh,
shit.
there was Need for Speed. We can do that in honorable mention because the gameplay segment that they showed, which seemed to be gameplay, looked really cool. It looked kind of like Uncharted.
It's the same fucking problem with any
Yeah,
sports
yeah.
game. It's like it's a graphic update. I don't even know why they create characters. They should just make the cars
Oh,
characters.
I don't know why they create
Like Knight
characters and why
Rider.
they make them look so ugly,
Because
so
no
fucking
one
ugly.
fucking cares about the characters,
Yeah,
you
nobody
know?
cares about
The
them.
cars have more individuality than these characters ever gonna have. So just make some artificial intelligence for the cars and have them be characters. I think it wouldn't be realistic, but it would be much more fun.
Yes.
So
Well, the people are only there for the story mode, right? It's only going to be a story mode thing. That's what they showcased was the story
yeah,
mode, and
but
that's
still,
that gameplay
I think
segment.
I think this would do much better if the cars were just characters.
Oh no.
Definitely, just give them a Knight Rider like artificial intelligence, which with a bit of dark humor, and it would work. It would work.
Wraith,
you know,
I really
remember-
want to say that you are stupid and that you should stop, but I really love Kid, so I can't argue, to be honest.
Just remember JoJo Part 5, it works. It just works.
Yeah, of course it just works. Everybody hates that meme, I like it. Okay. No, let's not do this. Next thing we got the Microsoft press conference, and first off, the things that have been talked about. First off was Project Scorpio. It's going to be named Xbox One X. We are going to talk about this. They told us a lot about the specs. The price is revealed. It's going to be $4.99. It's going to have backwards compatibility with some titles from the Xbox 360 games and from the original Xbox. I think it's one game so far. Then we had Assassin's Creed Origins, Black Desert Online, Crackdown 3, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Forza Motorsport 7. Idea at Xbox Games. This was a program where they started to boil down a few indie titles. Cuphead finally got a release date. Deep Rock Galactic revealed. Ori and the Blind Forest sequel announced. The Last Night and the Artful Escape headed to Xbox One. Okay. Tacoma release date announced. Xbox One getting adorable platformer Lucky's Tale. And then we had Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is the prequel to Life is Strange. Metro Exodus. Minecraft. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Sea of Thieves. State of Decay 2. And of course, there was a big gameplay segment on Anthem. Okay, so...
Oh, that's quite a lot.
That's quite a lot. So what are we going to boil this down to? Was there... okay, let me ask you like this. What was the most interesting for you in this particular press conference?
Oh. Well, most interesting... Nothing really is especially interesting to me.
Oh, okay.
Like, I looked into Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
I looked most of the trailers. To Crackdown 3 looked like shit.
Oh, yes. Definitely didn't look good at all. And that Terry Crews thing was
State
cringe.
of Decay 2 looks like a shitty version of Dead Island, or what was it called? Not really special at all. Like a typical management game, which there's 3,000 indie published games that are much better with less resources.
Wait, sorry, which one are you talking about now?
State of Decay.
Oh, State of Decay 2. Yes. Oh, and the trailer was way too long too.
It just it looked bland, and look at all the Steam indie games that are released that do much more with much less budget. So
yeah, I can totally agree on that.
Let's go the games. Repeat the games a bit slower.
Let me ask you a question, Wraith.
Yeah, the thing is, you just talked about the games so fast, I couldn't all
Yeah.
keep
I
them in
I
my
was just
mind.
giving a quick overview of what happened on the press conference, but we can dive into details now. Um, I'd like to have a question for you because of Anthem. Is Anthem, because I have no idea, but is Anthem a MMO? Because it looked like an MMO in game.
Uh, no, I think an MMORPG is really is it has massive multiplayer
Yes.
online role-playing game,
Yes.
and I feel it's the same like a Diablo game, and Diablo is not an
Yes. Yes. Yes.
MMORPG because you have most in Diablo 3 you have 4 characters, and in Diablo 8 2 you have 8 characters
Mm-hmm.
on one game. So I think it's very much a Diablo clone,
Okay.
just in the vein of it, with looting. I mean, in all of the gameplay trailers, they were joking about the looting,
Mm.
the characters. Oh, nice loot there and stuff like
Yes. Yes.
that.
Oh, I got a legendary. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so that was very much reminiscent of Diablo. How you imagine Diablo players are.
Yes. Yes.
And so what I don't know. They try this realistic tone, how the characters look,
Mm-hmm.
which I really didn't like much because they try with the exoskeletons itself aren't that bad, but the way they looked from the inside made me feel like okay, they hardly fit in
Oh
there,
yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how the technology really I mean they walk like it's a second skin, but just the way the suits looked, they didn't look that scientific from 1,000 years in the future. They looked
Mm.
much more basic,
Oh, and they
and
looked like
they
it
still
was, yes.
walked like normal
Yes.
humans. So
And it looked like
what
they are hot as fuck inside.
yeah, ooh, definitely. But the thing is, these look exactly like an Iron Man suit would look like.
Hmm.
Not just look like, just handle it.
Mm-hmm.
How they fly, how they move, and especially the weapons. There was a scene when they first encountered enemies where the one guy used a mortar,
Mm-hmm.
like this one gigantic bump dropped on them, and the character, the main protagonist that was played in that moment, she used missiles that locked on and shot at the enemy, which was extremely reminiscent of the first Iron Man fight in Iron Man in the movie in the first one, where Iron Man flies to Iraq
Mm-hmm.
and stops the terrorists.
Yeah, I don't
And it
remember
looked
this particular
almost
scene,
the
but I know what you
same.
mean.
And it almost looked the same. And one thing I really didn't like is how inconsistent it was. So when they moved on metal grounds, like the roof of a
Mm-hmm.
building, you hear the weight of the suit. So it felt like there was some weight to the suit. But when they were moving on normal ground, on normal earth, there was no weight at all. And which totally annoys me because I need to have a consistent feeling of weight from a character. Like when you shoot a gun, you want a consistent feeling of this
Oh yeah, I know
gun,
what you mean. Hmm.
and that was
Well,
quite
okay, we can't, but we
irritating.
can't talk about how it feels yet, right? We haven't played it. It just looked that way.
Yeah, yeah, but in the trailer you could hear sounds from weight when he stepped on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
There were nothing. There was no feeling of weight, even with these powerful suits, which should just by their own weight have a sound. And when they were moving on a roof that was made of metal, you had that sound. You had the sound of weight,
Okay,
which was
okay,
completely missing
then.
when they were moving on normal
But
ground.
if they had that and they didn't have that on the other ground, maybe it's just something that they are still working on and didn't get done, or.
Yeah, but E3 is open presentation for the whole
Yes, yes.
world.
But
And
I mean,
if you
this is
don't do that well,
but don't get me wrong. But this is a minor complaint, right? This is not something that is game breaking or anything. It's not something that you are super ashamed of or anything. If you show it, you can just say, okay, it's still alpha footage, and we are still going to work on it.
yeah, but that's the excuse ever used. I think if you're doing a presentation, do it right correctly. It was 7 minute gameplay trailer, you know,
Was it 7 minutes long?
and
Oh, holy
you
crap!
want me to buy this shit, then and the other stuff is open world game discovery things. That's all shit that already exists. You don't get my attention with the same shit over and over again. So if you do it, at least do it correctly. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so many guys did the same thing you did before. So
Yes, of
get
course.
me
It
with
looks
something.
it looks like a game that is just a clone of 10,000 different games that came up before this. What I just want to say to that is I'm not really big into sci-fi or to that whole setting. But I gotta admit it looked very cool, and the flying around looked very cool. So it looked very smooth, and this is what I liked about it. Um,
I don't need an original game for that. Just make it an Iron Man suit, and it would be the same
Yeah,
anyway.
but maybe people don't want to play as Iron Man. They want to play as just.
I disagree. I do think people want to play Iron Man.
Yeah,
It's
but
just that
but
all the games that were made sucked balls until now, which is
maybe
surprising considering how
maybe you will
much
get
money
an
they
Iron Man
make.
skin in this game. You never know. Maybe Marvel is on a license or anything.
Wow,
Um,
a skin, great.
Anthem, I think it looked cool. I think the flying around looked cool. It can be an original game if it wants. It can have an Iron Man skin if it wants. Why not? But for me, what it boils down to is it going to be having an engaging story? Because this is not something that they've shown. They've shown us how the game works and how it's going to feel, or how they want it to feel like when it comes. But they didn't really show us anything of an engaging story, and yeah, that's still kind of a letdown to me. So I'm just going to wait and see. But let's be real here. Do you think this game is going to come out anywhere between the next 10 to 12 months? Because I don't think so, and I think it's going to still take 2 or 3 years, and until then we have seen everything
Yeah,
of the game.
most likely. And other
So
games that are faster will
know.
be out by then.
Oh yes, yeah. Okay, let's talk about the next big thing from this year's Microsoft's press conference, and there was Project Scorpio, which is now revealed to be named Xbox One X. I don't want to talk too much about it. We know the price details by now. It's going to be $499, and it's going to be the most powerful console ever, like they said.
So wait, it's an upgrade to the
They
Xbox
got out the
One.
specs. Yes, it's an upgrade to the Xbox One. It's like a gamer PC from what I've
That's
heard.
already a joke.
It's yeah, that's I'm not even saying that with a straight face. It's just like it's a much more powerful console. But you know the thing, here's the big deal. You know, I'm not big into Xbox. I never owned an
I
Xbox
never did
myself.
too. I had every PlayStation console, but Xbox never really
Yes,
had anything that interests me.
yes, me too. Me yes. That's exactly it, right? But from a marketing standpoint, I think that's a cool idea. I think it's cool to have a console that's optimized for newer franchises, or that for faster gameplay, better gameplay, which looks better, and still have the balls to say, hey, but you don't have to buy this. You can play our games. Every game that comes out, you can play this on your gamer PC, no problem. So that's a very cool move.
If they
I
really
think
do it that
they
way, I still won't believe it until it happens.
they They are no Wraith. They are doing it. They announced that last year, and they are doing it. Every game for Xbox One that came out, you can play it totally fine on PC, no problem. You can buy it for PC or you can buy it for Xbox.
Okay, but there will still be
And
exclusive
every trailer.
games for a console.
Yes, of course. The exclusive games are Xbox One and Windows 10 only. These are the exclusive games. There's no Xbox One only games anymore. These are not happening anymore since last year. And every single trailer that you have seen for an exclusive game, it always said Xbox One
But
and Windows PC.
what may happen is that you need to have Windows 10 to play certain games, and that sucks balls.
Yes, you do. That's the big letdown. Of course, yes. Of course, you need to have Windows 10. But still, I mean, that's a minor complaint. I think it's a very cool move.
Windows 10 sucks. That's a major point. Don't undersell it.
Yes. Yeah, but of course it sucks. I know. I mean, I don't really want to have this conversation because it would be going for way too long. But yes, of course, Windows 10 is not as good as whatever everything else. But here's the thing: you still have that option if you want, right? It's not something that you have to do. You don't have to have Windows 10. You can have an Xbox, but it's just another option to play exclusive games, which I think is a cool idea.
You really are the good cop from the two of us.
No. In this particular case, I have to be because from a gamer standpoint, you don't have that too often. That you have exclusive games that you still have another option to play, right? So I think that I have to admit that that's a cool thing. I've never been an Xbox player. I've never had an Xbox. And most of the titles, to be honest, don't interest me. For that come out under Microsoft's flagship, but here we are, and I think it's the idea itself. It works and it's cool. That's just what I'm getting at.
No, well, with Windows 10 exclusive, Microsoft still won't get me as a buyer of their games. But then again, they don't have too much I'm interested in anyway, so not much of value is lost.
Yeah. No, that's not a big deal.
They should just abandon the console concept completely. I mean, they have PC. Why do they need a console?
Because they want to sell toys. Just like every other.
I still think with owning the PC brand, they could do a lot more if they focused on that. But they see the money Sony is making with the PlayStation, and they need to compete. Mm-hmm. But whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't play Microsoft's Xbox, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, right? It's only for me. It's only boiling down to interesting titles. If the Xbox had more interesting titles for me than the Sony PlayStation, then I would go to Xbox, no problem. But for me, it's the PlayStation which has the better names for me. So that's what it boils down to. Let's talk about the next thing, shall we? Okay, so here's the big one. I was screaming when I was seeing this. Finally, like we heard about this game beforehand, but now we finally saw it in motion. And it looks just like Guilty Gear with Dragon Ball paint on it. And it's Dragon Ball Fighter Z. And wow, holy shit, I love it. I love it already. I can't wait to fucking play this thing. When it finally comes out in, I think, early 2018. They didn't have a release date, but they said that it's going to be early 2018. And man, I'm going to fucking drop every other fighting game for it, because Street Fighter 5 sucks now. Tekken 7 is okay, but I suck at it. This is going to be my next big fighter that I'm really looking forward to, other than Marvel vs. Capcom. But
to say most Arc System Work fighters do work pretty well. As I'm not such
I love
a huge Dragon Ball fan, I will play it when friends get it and look into it. but I do think it's nice to see 1 in 1 million Dragon Ball games that it's not total crap. And I'm sorry
Yes.
that you have to hear that.
Yes. No problem. I'm going to edit a lot today.
I can take that, and my mother's apparently asleep.
Wait, you can't? Yeah. What do you say if we just do a
No, it's
quick
already
break
done,
and
so
you
we
get
can
it?
continue.
Oh, it's already done. Okay.
So yeah,
Okay, so I'm going to have a cut here. You were just talking about what were you talking about, Wraith?
well, your memory is quite excellent.
No, I listened
see.
to you.
No, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. So I'm not that into Dragon Ball itself anymore. I don't think it's that great of a show or manga. But besides that, I do think the fighter looks quite nice, and it looks like the special modes is when they switch to Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. So you don't have multiple characters, which is a good thing. Don't make the roosters with such an insane amount of characters where half of them are useless or just a variation. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, just transformations.
And then, well, if it's a good fighter, there are a few characters I like. In my favorite character is probably Videl, so I hope she has an interesting fighting style. But that's also a thing is with Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue you have a lot of different fighting styles. But Dragon Ball, especially Z, doesn't have much. You have 50 characters that can use the Kamehameha.
Videl doesn't have a really...
characters that can use Kamehameha. Most of the beam attacks are just a different color, and so that's the thing. I would be interested is how do they make them individuals?
Oh, I think there's a lot of opportunity there, because what most Dragon Ball games, in my opinion, are missing are many of the cool fight scenes of the manga where they actually do some original shit. Like I'm not talking energy beams or anything, but I mean normals like really cool punches and kicks. Like they've certain animations that you could still use that never were used even in the anime. And I think there's a big opportunity here to do something.
To me, that's only really the characters from Dragon Ball, from the original, because there it wasn't this.
No. I mean all of the manga.
But
I mean from the beginning to the end of the manga.
Very, very similar to others, and not very. All the people that trained with Muten Roshi and then with Master Kaio. That's still, I think that's a lot of Dragon Ball fanboys speaking in you there. I know there are certain moves that are in the manga that are more individualist, more original, but I think there's still going to be many characters that are just too similar.
Well, what I can say here is, of course, a lot of characters are going to be having Kamehameha and stuff like that, but I think what it boils down is to the supers, right? They are going to have super animations and they're going to be completely different. I'm super sure about that. It's not going to be Kamehameha on the one character and Kamehameha on the second character. Like they're going to be having full-fledged like cutscene supers.
Everyone is almost as strong as to kill half the planet, and most.
But I don't care about that, to be honest. It's just that's Dragon Ball. I mean, that's just how Dragon Ball works later in the manga. But here's the thing. If you like Dragon Ball or not, that's a whole different thing, right? But what really got me excited here is that such a big franchise such as Dragon Ball finally gets a legit tournament fighter that you can finally play at Evo, if it turns out well, of course. And And that really never really happened, other than Super Dragon Ball, which I'm sorry, but I didn't like so much. There was no legit tournament fighter for Dragon Ball. And finally it's happening. So that's why this is getting me very exciting. And yeah, Arc System Works are doing a
Well,
great
yeah,
job
to
with their
be
fighting
fair,
games.
I like BlazBlue and I like Guilty Gear. So in that vein,
Mhm.
it's very likely that the Dragon Ball fighting game won't suck because most of the Dragon Ball games are total garbage. That just make money, but no one remembers all the 5 million games that were made.
Yes, because I mean, you have legit tournament fighters, and then you have stuff like anime fighters, like arena fighters, like the last JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game, like the last Naruto game, like the last blah 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 blah. And here's the thing: why I think they suck is because you could never play these games competitively. No matter how good they look. I mean, I like the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game for what it
Yeah,
does.
I
It looks
agree
really
on
cool,
that.
but you could never play this thing in a tournament because these are
Yeah,
button mashers. These
you
are
don't
not
even
legit fighting
need
games.
to just
And
stick it to competitive gaming. It just, even if you're playing with friends, yeah, you play it for 2 3 hours and it's fun, but then you can
yeah,
develop. These games were so simple that there's nothing to
yes,
do after that. And I bought the JoJo Fighter with for 90 euros with tax and all the other stuff. Yeah, me
me too
too.
from Japan. Yeah,
And I was this.
we are some
Well,
stupid
well, it
shits.
looked good. It legitimately looked good.
Yeah, it looks. I still
The
like
style
it. I
is
still like
great.
it
It's
for what
just
it
that the
is. Yeah,
gameplay sucks,
yeah.
and that wasn't really.
Yes, I mean, think about it. This game could have been both, right? This is what really nags on me is that it could have been both. It could have looked cool like JoJo's, and it could have played like a tournament fighter. But they it was CC2, and I don't like CC2. I'm sorry. They are doing great things. No, I can't say I don't like them. They are doing great things, but they desperately. Here's the thing that I'm constantly laughing about is that they really want their games to be tournament legit, right? Like some of their Naruto games, I don't know which one that was. I think it was the one 3 years ago. The last one before the last one they did. They really wanted to have it at Evo, right? Just for clarification for everyone who doesn't know what is Evo, Evo stands for Evolution, and it's the biggest fighting game tournament in the world. Um, and these guys, CC2, they really wanted CyberConnect 2. They really wanted their fucking Naruto game to be featured at Evo, and everyone was like, "Sorry, no, that's not working. This game is not for competitive play. It sucks. Sorry. It looks cool. It has a cool story. Blah blah blah. For Naruto fans, it's blah blah blah. It's cool." But it's not a legit tournament fighter, and that's what they were always going for. Was like, no, you can still play our games competitively. It works. No, it doesn't. CyberConnect 2, please go home. You're drunk.
You're
So
delusional.
yeah, fine. Yes, you're super delusional. And now finally, Arc System Works is raising their hand, taking the Dragon Ball franchise and doing something great with it. And I love you guys for
Yeah,
that. Thank you.
well, I don't know what happened that because Arc System Works isn't that a triple A company, more like a double A,
No,
more like in
it
that
isn't.
vein.
Yes, it isn't.
So I'm surprised
Mm-hmm.
that they got the license for Dragon Ball, or if the makers of the Dragon Ball games, so they noticed, well, these aren't really lasting games. Maybe let's try someone else at it. So I'm curious to know how this happened that Arc System Works got their hands on it.
What I believe happened is that they developed these Arc System developed these 3DS fighting games, right? These for One Piece and for Dragon Ball 2, which were 2.5D also. And I think that's how they managed to get their hands on it, just by saying, "Hey, we did these mobile games and they are doing great in Japan. How about it? Let's do a full-fledged PS4 title, PS4 home
I
title."
just hope because they have Dragon Ball that it doesn't affect the the mentality, of making something good and don't becoming a cow,
I really don't
a
think so.
cash grab.
I really don't think
Well,
so.
let's see. Other
No.
companies were also converted.
Yeah, but I honestly I trust these guys. They did the Hokuto no Ken game, and still people love to play this competitively whenever they can. So I just doubt it that they are going to fall
Time
down
will
on
tell.
this. Yeah, time will tell, and I'm looking forward to it. Here's the next thing. Okay, have you played Life is Strange, Wraith?
No, I fortunately I also didn't hear many spoilers. So I
Mm-hmm.
try it in the future, but here's the thing: for a lot of people, this is special with the choices and stuff. But I have played visual novels for
Mm-hmm.
years. Like this decision making for me is nothing new. So Life is Strange, with which
Mm.
focus on teenagers. I had that so much
Mm-hmm.
with anime, manga, and games. According to that, I'm really not at the point
Yeah.
anymore where the American setting is changing anything for me, or where you say, well, the choices that you make have influenced the outcome. So for
Yes.
those
Yes.
people that liked Life is Strange because I think it's kind of gay, wasn't it that the two girls were in love and stuff? So for whomever speaks it to, I don't think it's any kind of cancer or anything. I'm rather for 10 Life is Strange than one Call of Duty, you know. But really,
Yeah, of
really,
course, of course. I'm totally on your side here. Not entirely on your side because you said some mean things. But here's the thing. Life is Strange. I'm not going to into too much spoiler territory. I know the first game. I don't think it's so. People hold it very precious because of the way that you play the game and the way that you make decision making. But to be honest, in the end, for me, it was just like another Walking Dead game, a Telltale game, right? Another Telltale game where you just have some options. You just click on the option you want, and the story is gonna change this way. So it's not that different. Just because you have this girl with the special power, which made the game more interesting. Yes, I gotta admit that. The story overall wasn't that engaging for me. It was okay. It was okay. And now we got the Life is Strange Before the Storm got announced, and it's going to be a prequel to the whole thing. And I don't want to go too much into spoiler territory, but in the end of the game, you make a very crucial game. What do I call it? You make a very
decision.
crucial decision, and it's very hard for this decision to make a sequel out of it. So it's only natural to do something else with it. And going for a prequel, I think, is the best idea here. Um, so yeah, uh, that's with that out of the way. Anything you wanna still say about Life is Strange? Because I don't really have much. I know the first game,
I
but
may try
it's
it
okay.
in the
It's okay.
future, but as I said, I have Japan already delivered on that many years before, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't really have much special feelings for it. Like I've done it before. Give me something new, really. So,
Yeah, of course, yes, yes. One thing, an honorable mention, was Metro
to be
Exodus.
honest, honorable
Um,
mention when I looked at the gameplay trailer and then I watched something else first and returned to it and I was like, is this Fallout? And then I looked, oh wait, it's Metro. I just opened it up because it looks exactly
yeah,
like Fallout. Like,
yeah,
where's the difference?
it really looks exactly, yes, yes. It looked exactly like Fallout. But I think the gameplay segment that they showed was really cool. I have no idea about the Metro franchise. I'm not sure if I'm going to
But a
play this one.
franchise is it's a
But
second game,
it
isn't it?
looks really cool.
It's based
I
on books.
I sure I think it's the
It's
third
based
game
on
by now.
books.
Yeah, it's no. The first one was based on the book, and the second one, the author was like, yeah, there couldn't be a second one in the book, so just do whatever. And they did another one, and I think this is the third one by now. But
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
don't
too
really
sure
care.
about this
I
one.
do
I have
like
to
the
double
fact
check
that
on that.
you
But
know you can collect your the arrows you have already
oh
shooted
yeah.
at the enemy and stuff like that. What was annoying the first game was the fact that you couldn't use your ammunition because you also need that to trade stuff. And you're of course like, why don't you use
Hmm.
weapons that don't use the ammunition and stuff? So the management was kind of
Hmm.
annoying. But
Yeah.
yeah, well, let's see. I to me it looks way
I mean, the only
to
thing
me
we
it
saw,
looks like
yes.
Fallout, and I'm asking myself, well, I could just play Fallout if I wanted to.
Well, maybe there's going to be a difference in the story. Well, no. Here's the thing. The only thing we saw was a scripted gameplay sequence. It looked very cool, but that's really all we saw. I just wanted to make this an honorable mention because it looked very cool. Maybe there's going to be more of cool shit with it, but for now, let's just leave it at that. I'd say. The next thing that I wanted to talk
Oh, wait,
about
one thing I
was
wanted to
Sea of
say
Thieves.
is
What?
I'm just tired of
Yo.
this same looking post-apocalyptic stuff. They all look the same
Yeah.
currently. So I'm not against post-apocalyptic games, but make them look
Mm-hmm.
different, please. The fact that I thought this game was Fallout is showing what's the problem here. With all the diluted colors, with all the same kind
Ah,
of
yeah, yeah.
destroyed housing and buildings, no really variation in
Mm.
that. And if it looks all the same, I mean, I play one game and then the 10 other games that look the same, why should I play them? Honestly.
Yeah, right, right. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to talk about was Sea of Thieves, and I don't want to talk too much about it, just because of the fact that this game is announced for 3 years now. I don't need another trailer. Please bring the game just out. I want to see if it's
What
good or
game? I
not.
didn't.
The gameplay sequence looked cool.
Which game?
What? Sea of Thieves. It was the
The
pirate game where
comedical
you are. Yeah, it's kind of comedical,
with a
kind of
black
cartoony.
humor
Yes.
narrator. Yeah, okay. Of course.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Yeah. 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 It's from Rare, and which I think is very cool. And the thing is that it's been announced for 3 years now. It's I think it's finally got a release date. I only see delayed until 2018. Whatever. But yeah, just bring out the game finally. I think the gameplay sequence was okay, but we saw much of it last year and the last year before that
And it
too.
doesn't look like such a
Um.
complex game, to be honest.
Oh yes, 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 yes. It's a very what the premise is that it's going to be a very very big open world game. You're going to be
Whoa,
able to
how
play that
new.
online, and well, no, not new. But nobody said that's a new concept. But what is original about it is that you have these giant seas that you just that you can conquer, and that you can be feel like a pirate on, like a cartoony pirate. I
Yeah,
think that's a
no,
cool idea. But just
yeah,
bring the game out
my
and let's see
ironic
if it's good or
comment
not.
was just about how long it takes, and with a concept that's also not new. Like you can't take this long for an open world sea level because it's been done before, and if you take that long, I'm going to lose interest, quite honestly.
Yeah, I lost interest in seeing trailers. I just want to see the game, so I don't really care about trailers anymore, to be honest. And here's the thing. I know this concept is not new, and I know a lot of these games that were shown are not new concepts or anything especially new, but they can be cool anyway, right? They
Yeah,
can have totally
it's
cool
not
things attached to
impossible.
them. And I think Sea of Thieves, the idea is really cool, but I just don't need three E3s. I don't need that shit. Okay. The next thing that I wanted to talk about, and I think this is going to be the last thing, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be Assassin's
Oh,
Creed
no,
Origins.
please, can we just skip the shit? I don't want any more of that. Give me back Prince of Persia, you know? I would rather play that.
Okay. Was there a huge difference between Prince of Persia and
Assassin's Creed, yes, it was
Assassin's
huge.
Creed? I only played one
And
Prince of
all,
Persia
all of
title.
the
I think it was
Prince Persia
17
games
years
were kind
ago.
of action adventure, where you had just had a different gimmick. In Sand of Times, you called turn back
Hmm.
time for a small amount and do, for example, if you jump to another cliff and you were falling, you could pull back time to the cliff where you were jumping to correct that jump to
Hmm.
make it happen, for example. And
Oh yeah, yeah. You
Assassin's
mean
Creed,
that time
in its
mechanic?
original
Yes,
draft,
yes.
was a new Prince of Persia game. And then they made their own franchise
Hmm.
out of it, which sold really,
Yeah.
really well. And now it's in the Call of
Uh huh.
Duty position, where every year.
Yes. It's in the Call of Duty position, and now they finally took a step down and said we're going to do a break, and we're going to come back with something cool. And I think this year, honestly, I think they nailed it. I'm not a big fan of Assassin's Creed. I've never played an Assassin's Creed game, to be fully honest. But what was kind of engaging for me here was the setting. I love Egypt, the setting, and that hawk that you can control looked very cool. That's the only things that I can really say now. There wasn't. I think the gameplay sequence looked very nice. That's the only thing I really want to say to this. And yeah, we can jump onto the next
I'm
thing
just
here if you
saying
want.
Assassin's Creed
That's
should
just what I
die and
want to say.
something else should come in its place.
Did it do something so bad for you, the
It's
franchise,
just
or
the
what
same as Call
exactly
of
happened?
Duty. It's most of the games are just boring, and they try because they have this mixture of historical and scientific backgrounds, which just
Oh yeah, the
so
story is
doesn't
this
really
animus
work
thing. I
well
don't like
with
that. Yeah.
each other. I think it just really it tries to be realistic in a way when but it's written so terrible that all the situations that arise where this character goes back in time to see what his ancestors did is it's just written terrible. Like there's so many
Yeah.
good
But
stories
sometimes,
about
yes.
this stuff, not necessarily time travel, but just the way it's presented.
Hmm.
And I mean the gameplay is going to be the same for several hours, and the story, if the story
Hmm.
doesn't make it more interesting, I don't know, this kind of open world games just don't catch me at all. To me it's always the same
Hmm.
shit, and the side quests never are interesting.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes I think what's important for people here is it's not always the story. It's sometimes the gameplay. If it's cool, if it's fun for a few hours, it's okay. But in this particular case, I think they have a lot of new mechanics that they can showcase, and if they are fun for 20 hours, then why not? I don't think the story is the big
Yeah,
seller here,
but
to be honest,
20
because they
hours
they didn't they didn't really talk about it
20 hours
much.
don't justify a 70 euro game, in my opinion. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
paid
well that's a whole
70 bucks
different.
for Persona 5 and played that 100 hours. To me, that's a fair
Yeah.
exchange because I got enough out of the money, you know.
Okay. What about all these hack and slay games
I
and these
played
action
much more
adventures
than
that are 20
100
hours
hour
long?
games. So the hack and slay I played, Diablo 2, I played Diablo 2
Mm-hmm.
more than 500 hours. And even when Diablo 3
Okay.
wasn't that great at the start, since I can play it whenever I want, I have also
Yeah.
several hundreds of hours into Diablo 3. So I'm a dude that likes looting and leveling, but because I played the original games that did it so well, like Titan Quest and Diablo all around the time, I have high expectations of any new game that does that. So if they can't deliver, I'm immediately out because I've played them so much. Like if you eat a lot of, let's say, lasagne, and at some point you have eaten so many that if you go to some restaurant and it's not tasty, you're going to crush it. Like you will hate it.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. Here's the thing. I think the big deal is that if a game is 20 hours long and it's full price, and it's not that fun for you, of course it didn't the 20 hours wasn't worth it. If it's extremely fun and you want to replay it, then it's something different, right? You can play it over and over and over again because it's very, really fun. That's what it boils down to. For me, Assassin's Creed can be 20 hours long if it's extremely fun. But if it's not, then of course, $70 is not worth it. That's just. I mean, that's like say Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry is not even 20 hours long. The most games,
but it has an extreme replay value.
But replayability, yes, replayability is high. So it's really okay for you to pay these prices. But yeah, that's what it boils down to, really. I use that term a lot today. Okay. Anything else you wanted to talk about in behalf of Microsoft E3's press conference? Because I'm done with Microsoft now. There was not really much that I really want to dig into deeper. There was one thing. Sorry, there was one thing. Cuphead. Fucking Cuphead. The same thing as Sea of Thieves. Why does it need to be shown the third year at E3 now? I think it's announced for 3 years now. It looks really cool. It looks like a very fun co-op adventure title with Technicolor in it. But I finally want to play it. I don't want to need another trailer. And finally, it got a release date. I think it was September 8th this year. And
yeah, you have to think about
finally
keep up the interest in the game. Because I don't think it has as much funding as other major titles, but people are still very, very into it. And whether you like the gameplay or not, you have to admit that it's very, very cool designed, and it's
so nice designed. I really want to play this game. Like, holy shit, it looks very, very cool.
And so I think you have to take it so the game comes out eventually. Like, yeah, Cuphead's still in production. Here's a reminder that it will come. I agree. It's of course annoying if there's nothing new coming or really worth an extra announcement when it's so long in development. But at some point you start.
Okay, at least I can say the trailer was very, very, very short, and it was only there to finally show us the release date, and I think that's cool that we finally get a release date. But yeah, 3 years into E3, man. This is the thing. I hate what I want to see more in the future are games that are going to come out the year that they are shown, or at least 10 or 12 months before.
I'm a huge Super Robot Wars fan. It's my favorite franchise. And they showed the trailer, for example, for Super Robot Wars Z2. They showed the trailer in February and the game came out in April. And I was like, that's awesome.
Oh, that's so great. That's so fucking great. I mean, it doesn't have to be so quick, but I just want to see a game that is... I want to see an announcement of a game if it's like, say, maximum 1 year ahead of me.
Already
if it's
too much
1 year
me.
If it's out.
I would...
No, I think that's okay. 12 months is okay. In the maximum. 10 to 12 months. But fucking 3 years? Final Fantasy VII Remake? Are you fucking kidding me? Death
Yeah,
Stranding is
the
not going
thing
to
with
come
Final
out
Fantasy
anytime
VII
soon.
Remake, it's not clear if they mean if all of the game is released or if only the first disc is. Because it would be ridiculous if
Yeah, but what they
if
said,
every
what
part
they
will
said.
take 3 years. Think about it. Then we would be playing Final Fantasy VII in 10 years. And that would be quite
Fuck
questionable.
this. This is dumb. This is dumb, and this is just like the whole Final Fantasy versus 13. I'm in I'm on the side of the people that say Final Fantasy versus 13 never came out. I'm
Yeah,
straight
of
out.
course
I'm
it
saying
didn't.
that
It
it
changed.
never came out. This original idea of this game never came out. Final Fantasy
Yeah,
15
of
is a
course.
different game. That's
It's a different
my whole
team
opinion on
already.
this.
They
And
changed the teams in Square
it's
Enix.
not only a different team, it's a different story, it's a whole different game. All the ideas that they had for versus 13 not there anymore. Okay, here's the thing. Final Fantasy VII Remake, before E3, a few days before E3, Square Enix came out and said, yeah, maybe it's ready in 3 years. And we're not sure if they mean the first episode, but I think they mean the first episode. I don't think they mean the whole game. And this is why this sucks. This is why this sucks. And I don't care about Final Fantasy VII Remake anymore until it comes out.
Well,
I don't give a fuck
never
about
really
it.
much gave a fuck about Final Fantasy VII because I think it's highly overrated. But I would still play it when it comes out, whenever that may be the case. But it's also going to be censored a lot, so I'm not really that much looking forward to it. So, who knows?
Well, well, censored or not. I mean, this is the thing here. Final Fantasy VII, the original, is nearly in my top 5 favorite Final Fantasy games. I think top 5, yeah. But it's not nearly as close as being my favorite
No.
Final Fantasy game. I think it's cool for its time when it came out. When I was 12 years old, I loved it, of course, because it was the really first Final Fantasy game that really came out in Germany that was big, you know. And I think that was really cool. But after that, I've played the other games, and there were a lot more games that I thought were way more fun, way more entertaining. But I'm still looking forward to the remake if it comes around anytime. But I'm not looking forward around for fucking any bits and pieces of news for the next 3 years, little trailers, little gameplay. I don't give a fuck about that anymore. I saw a little bit of gameplay. I just want to see the game now. I don't give. Fuck
wait.
you, Square. I'm sorry,
If you
but
say you
fuck
don't
you,
give
Square.
a fuck about Final Fantasy VII anymore, but about what?
No,
What
I don't give a
about-
fuck. I don't give a fuck about the game
about the-
until it's released.
about-
That's what I said.
What about
That's
the
what I
fan
said.
art and the porn that's released in between?
Okay, let's head on to the next thing.
And
We had.
You don't even give me the time to make a joke based on your wording.
I just had the.
Let's be honest, what's the
No.
purpose of Tifa? Being a good character?
No, man. Oh, dude. Okay, you know what? Did you play the game Air Guides? Do you
What
know that game?
game?
Air Guides. It was a PlayStation 1 fighting game where you had some Final Fantasy characters in it, and there was Tifa in
Oh
it.
yeah.
And holy shit, they made their boobs. They made their boobs even bigger in this game. I don't. What was the fucking
that's
point?
what I'm telling is
Fucking-
that what really annoyed me about Final Fantasy VII is that all the main characters are so incredibly boring and all the side characters are so much more interesting.
I can't say yes to that because I think Final Fantasy. I think I like Vincent Valentine. I especially like Red
Yeah,
13. I
But
think
the
these are
side-
cool
but
characters.
these are the side characters.
And Kate Sith, really. I think Kate Sith was an
Yeah,
interesting
but
one
that's
too.
proving my point. The
Um,
side characters are more interesting than the main cast. The main cast,
That's in the most. Okay, well, you know what? That's in the most Final Fantasy games. The most of the time, I don't really mind the main characters too much. The other people around them are doing the story way
no,
better
not
than the
really.
main characters.
My favorite
in
one is
most of the
8,
games, I
where
think.
I like all the characters.
Oh yeah,
9,
yeah.
9
Eight is
also
eight is a great
and in
yes.
9 I like all the characters
Uh-huh.
characterization also very much. In 10 again the
Okay,
most side
fair.
characters are cooler than the main characters.
Oh, in Final Fantasy X, I don't know if. Hmm. I think Jack is the coolest character in this game. I don't even think the
Yeah,
main characters.
which
Is there anyone that I really liked? I liked Lulu's design.
yeah,
Yes, that's what I liked. But other than that, I don't even know if I liked any other
I liked
characters in this
Yuna's
game.
design. Yuna just hits a spot design wise, not character wise, but design wise. And the thing is, which they did a sequel to Final Fantasy X, but they
Oh,
should
but
have.
please, no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no, 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 Wraith.
don't
I need to
stop
stop
me.
you. No, we
Shut
can't
up.
talk about the sequel.
They should have done a prequel. The prequel with Jack, Braska, and Oren. I think that would be great. Would have been great instead of a sequel. You know, a prequel.
No, no, I don't know. I don't think so because I think when a Final Fantasy game is finished, it should be finished. They can't do prequels or sequels. We had Final Fantasy VII, we had a Final Fantasy VII film, we had a Final Fantasy VII spin-off, we had another Final Fantasy VII spin-off, blah blah blah. We had Final Fantasy 13, we had Final Fantasy 13 2, 13 3. They can't do sequels, man.
Yeah,
I mean, this is what
but
they
I want
they showed you a long
I
time
want
ago.
a
They can't do
prequel
sequels
which
or
was
prequels.
established
They
in the
can
game already
no.
because you found all the spheres.
Yeah, I heard about it. Yes, I know about this thing. But to be honest, no. They would have fucked it up. They would have fucked it up anyway. Just do the next thing. Just do something cool. Dude, have you heard that Stormblood is coming out in a few days? Man, I'm not going to be
What is
playing
coming
it.
out?
This is kind of sad, man. Stormblood, Final Fantasy
I
14 Stormblood.
don't give a fuck.
The MMORPG. I know you don't care, but I've played it for about 3 years, and now I'm on hiatus in this game, and man, I'm not going to be playing it, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
But I don't have the time
Oh
for it
no,
right now.
I have my mobile games. My one mobile game.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I couldn't even play it regularly because I live in two different cities and I only have my PC in one city. So that's already annoying me with
Yeah.
Overwatch. So nah.
I wish I had the time back where I was going to school and I had so
Yeah,
much time
but
to
then you
play,
couldn't
but
afford the
now
games.
it's like...
Also, it's
Oh yeah, that was
so
another thing.
there's
Yeah,
always
yeah,
drawbacks. You know, saying, "Oh yeah, in school I had all the time," but there were also a lot of negatives.
Fuck my
so
life,
I'm
man.
not. I'm quite happy as a
Yeah.
student, I must say.
Well, I'm quite happy with my free time that I have, but I'm not happy with it being too short to even start playing Final Fantasy 14
So
again.
now with that being done,
Um,
let's move on.
Yes, let's move on. E3 2017. Hey, you guys still there? We were just going a little bit off topic, but I think that was interesting. I think it was an interesting talk, so I'm gonna leave all of that in. It was cool. We have the next E3 thing, and that was the next press conference. Bethesda's first off, let me say really quick. I think it was really cool that Bethesda's press conference wasn't that long. It was like 30 minutes long, and it was on point. They just got out what they wanted to get out, and that's it. And every game that they announced or that they've shown in this particular press conference, everything of this is going to
Oh
come
yeah,
out
yeah.
this year.
I was
They
really
have
surprised
nothing. They have.
that I'm
I think that's really cool. I think that's a very cool move from
the
Bethesda.
only interesting game of this of every.
No. Before you say that, let me give the people a quick overview, and then we can say what was the most interesting. We had the Dishonored 2 expansion. We had Quake Champions. We had Fallout 4 VR. We had The Evil Within 2 or Psycho Break 2 in Japan. We had Fallout 4 Skyrim Creation Club. We had the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim for Nintendo Switch. We had the Elder Scrolls Online, which is going to have Morrowind now. We have Doom VFR. I'm not even sure. And we had I'm going to pronounce this in German. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. These were the titles, and yeah, let's talk about them. What did you think was the most interesting?
In all these press conferences, the only title I'm really looking forward to, and I may be in the smaller department there, but it's Evil Within 2. I actually look forward to it. and it's the only game that really interested me at the E3 at all. Which is it looks it's only a trailer, so there's only so much we can judge, and it feels like for the story they take a Silent Hill turn. It reminded me of the first Silent Hill with the father for his daughter, and with the music choice it reminds me of Resident Evil 7 with the trailer music and the kind of feeling they wanted to establish. So I do think that's also the direction they took. The major problem with the first The Evil Within is that it was a game that was in development for 10 years and they probably didn't adjust it to a new console and changed it up. So it was a game that was 10 years too late. So what I really hope is that they took their lesson from that, and since it's coming out so early, I think they got it. Since they announced it, and hey, in 3 more months, 3? Yeah.
I think it was
September.
3 more months, yes. I had to double check on
Means
September,
it
yes.
comes
No, wait, no. Wasn't it Friday the 13th on October?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
So
yes,
4
4
months. But still, the point stays. It means it must be almost
that's
finished.
so awesome.
Even if it's pushed back a little. So, I think I don't want to raise my expectations too high, because I still kind of enjoyed The Evil Within, even though I raged a lot in the game. I have to say that, and what Bethesda really sucks at is adaptations for PC. I bought the PC version thinking, it's kind of shooting orientated, maybe I should buy the PC version, and I couldn't even get it to run. So I switched it and got the console version and played it on console. So that's a thing Bethesda always does, that their adaptations for when they started something on console and get it out for PC, it's always going to suck at first. Which in this day and age,
yes.
Yeah, that's just something you shouldn't do. You shouldn't be doing. You should be more capable. But anyway, well, we have now more focus on the main character, which was also missing in the first game. Some people prefer it. You know, if you're just a guy thrown into the situation, which I don't like, which I didn't like in Resident Evil 7, where you have this normal guy in the situation and he acts like he has no emotion in some positions. Like, if this is a normal guy, he should be completely freaking out or something. And yeah, I hope they so in that case, since we have this hard-boiled detective, I think it's much more reasonable if he stays cool and acts, and so to expand on him is definitely the right choice. It just, I hope it makes sense, because he kind of wasn't at all part of the story in the first game, and in the second game they're saying everywhere you have to go back, implying that his daughter is connected to it. So this is dangerous, because if it wasn't established in the first game really, then it can ruin the story if it's not well.
Yeah, what I think was really cool in the trailer was that it was really kind of poetic. I think it was really interesting. What I want to say is that it didn't give a lot away, not much, but it had a nice atmosphere to it. And in the end, we had a little bit of gameplay, which looked really cool also. It was just a tiny bit, but I mean, it's enough, right? I think it's enough for this game.
I'm not going to judge it for so little.
No. I'm not going to judge it too. I just want...
No, I don't mean judge, but just saying the gameplay looks nice. That it wasn't really anything, so I won't say anything about it until I see something actually.
That's fair enough. Okay, let's jump to the next thing. We had okay. This is just an honorable mention because I just want to get this one out. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim is coming for Nintendo Switch, and we knew this beforehand because the Nintendo Switch trailer had Skyrim in it. And you can use the fucking Link amiibo and have a treasure chest appear from Zelda in Skyrim, and then you have this clunky. I don't even know how to say this, but you have this kinda wonky Link gear that you can put on. Like the sword and the shield, they look okay, they look great. But the actual gear from Link really looks, I don't know, a little strange in this game.
Yeah, of course, it's such a realistic shaped game.
That's why it just looks so weird. Really. I mean, but I'm sure they know it was just for funsies. But it's coming out for Nintendo Switch. That's all there is to it. Anything else that got your?
Do you know which game should get a Zelda skin?
Oh, custom? Please tell me.
The Witcher, so Link can finally get laid.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
So what's
up next? So we had a little bit of stuff. We had Doom VFR, but I'm not sure. Do we need to talk about Quake Champions and Doom?
I played the first Doom. I haven't played the remake. I heard it's good, but I don't know. If it's not made from scratch, what point is there to make it?
Okay, one thing I want to say about Quake is that I think it reminded me a little bit of Quake Arena, which is a good approach, and maybe it will hold up. We will see about that. Okay, what I wanted to talk about, the last thing that we are going to talk about today on this podcast is Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, and there's not that much to say. I think It gave me a little bit of a what's the franchise called again? Wraith, help me here. It gave me a vibe from.
I don't even know what franchise.
I'm talking about this underwater thing. Yeah,
underwater thing?
The first one. Wait, let me just get this. Man, come on! This one with a very Wait, what? No.
With the U-boat? I don't even know.
BioShock. It gave me a very BioShock vibe.
Only the first game.
Yeah, I know. This is what I meant. I didn't have anything to describe it better right now. But yeah, it gave me a kind of BioShock vibe because of the atmosphere in it. And I think the trailer in on itself was really cool. But let's be real here, I never played a Wolfenstein game, so I don't feel like I can say much to it.
I mean, I played Doom, and the first Doom is pretty much like the first Wolfenstein game.
Yeah.
So, but the games that came after I didn't have really play, and I didn't like BioShock at all. I liked the plot twist in the first one, yes, but I tried it 2 or 3 times, and at most got to half of the game, and it's really a generic shooter. There isn't much special to it, and I know people will hate me for it and tell me the story is great. Yeah, but if the gameplay can't carry me through that, I really don't care.
Well, that's just your opinion. I mean, I'm totally fine with that. I'm not too big into the BioShock franchise, but I don't want to be too much. I don't want to talk too much. I just wanted to say the atmosphere was a little bit, just gave me the vibe of a little bit of BioShock.
Which is actually weird because these games are.
No, I mean I don't mean the first one in particular. I mean was it the third one where you are in this Sky City?
Sky City, yeah, that's BioShock.
Yeah. I don't know. It just gave me a little bit of that vibe. I can't say much to Wolfenstein. That's why. Here's the thing. That I think it looked okay. I think the German voice acting was fine. um, and
Yeah, I don't really care too much about the Nazi
yeah,
shit
I gotta say,
anymore.
Nazi media is going to be is just tiresome for me at some point. I really don't care about them anymore because there's so much going on in everywhere.
They should more use the GDR. Like, that's extremely underused. They have the Russians all the time, but they hardly ever use the
Yeah.
GDR, the German Democratic Republic, which is was seen as so much as an enemy in the time of the Cold War, but is hardly ever used in games, surprisingly,
Oh,
or
that's
in media in
unfortunate, yeah.
general.
But
And
let's wrap it up here, Wraith, because we don't have much time, and we are going to watch more E3 the next few days, and then we are going to come back and talk about Ubisoft, Sony, and
see,
Nintendo.
we are still missing one game, which the trailer came out, which was Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, really? When was that a thing?
The trailer was released, a new
Okay.
gameplay trailer.
Do you want to talk about it? Because I don't really
Which-
care about Kingdom Hearts, to be honest. But
So, well, I will most likely
Okay.
play it. So, what? I think it looks fine. It looks really great, actually. And finally, the main character has the proportions of a normal human being, which is fun.
really, yeah.
Because he was always more like a chibi version a bit. So he was more into the width and low in the height. So so the proportions were already more like Donald's. So now he looks
okay.
much more realistic, which is a good. It seems it's developing. What I already hate, because Kingdom Hearts is a franchise that is milked ridiculously much. So if you think about it, the first two Kingdom Hearts games were out on PlayStation 2, and the third one already came with the PlayStation 4, with over 10 years between 2 and 3, but with a million spin-offs, and that's already ridiculous. And I mean, Final Mix 2.8.
These million spin-offs alone, and that's why I don't like the Kingdom Hearts franchise. Is just because of the fact that the story is a giant mess, like a big giant mess, and I just can't stand it.
When they wanted to fix the writing, so because the main antagonist from the second game weren't in the first game, later versions of the first game had them, so it was changed, and just to expand this into such a multiverse was stupid, instead of keeping a main timeline. I say timeline, but the main focus, and just have the spin-offs to fill little holes. But the spin-offs created whole new problems for the main franchise, and that's kind of annoying that you can't really focus on it anymore and see every aspect of it, because you have to buy every console, you have to play every game.
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, this is what happens. This is what happens when you have like 50 billion spin-offs, right? And this is kind of a bummer to me.
Here comes again my favorite franchise, Super World Wars. Basically, Kingdom Hearts copies the principle with a crossover, creating an original character and have him aided by different kind of shows. But what I really hated about Kingdom Hearts is how the original characters is always above the other franchises, the Final Fantasy, the Disney characters, while in Super World Wars they're always equals. You can have, for example, of the final of Neon Genesis Evangelion as the final stage, with the final opponent being part of that, because you have always original characters you play, which give you the basic line for everyone to follow, and then you have let's say all the other series that on equal
I just want to really quick say that this would sound terrible for me because I don't like NGE.
Yeah, I hate NGE too. So
No, I don't hate it. I just don't like it.
I hate it
I
actually.
just don't.
But just to
Okay.
prove my point, or Gurren Lagann, for example, there was the final stage was against the anti-spiral, and the original boss was before and after the anti-spiral.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, I know Gurren Lagann. Yeah.
So that's just an example in which Kingdom Hearts always focus way too much on the original stuff and have they have them go, and that's just stupid to my mind to make it that way. And they
Yeah.
keep doing it.
Okay, Rafe, I just have a question because you say you are a fan of it and you want to play it.
I'm not necessarily
Are you
a
going
fan
to?
of it. It's just I do like the gameplay,
Okay, yeah, that's fine. You can be a fan of it if you want. That's not a
but
big
there's
deal.
a lot of things that annoy me, like the artificial intelligence of your the AI of Donald and Goofy, your companions, is always terrible. I always rage in the first and second game, and they never fixed it. With all the new re-releases of Final Mix 2, Final Mix 2.5, and Final Mix 2.8, they never fixed them. And God dare them if they in Kingdom Hearts 3 fuck them up again. I think I'm going to, bring a Molotov cocktail to Square Enix headquarters.
Well, you can do that, but then the game is out and Kingdom Hearts is not a thing anymore. Here's the big deal, right? This game got announced when I was in my diapers, and then it fucking got
No.
every year it
No,
got
no,
it got
that's
some
not
kind of
true.
tidbits, news information that this fucking game is existing still, and that it's like Final Fantasy, it's like Final Fantasy for 13 over
No,
again.
it was.
And now tell me if this game comes out,
It was
is it
announced
going
3
to
years
be
ago.
Kingdom Hearts 3 was not announced
It
3
was.
years ago.
Before that,
No, it was not.
rumors. No,
It
the
was-
actual release was 3 years ago. And many speculated before that, but the actually announced release wasn't that long ago. That's what people always get wrong about it. As much as you want to hate on it,
I don't want to hate on it. Of course
Persona
not.
5
but
was announced a lot earlier compared to Kingdom Hearts 3.
uh-huh.
No, not a lot earlier, but just the span of time.
Okay. I'm gonna double check on that, but
Yeah,
here's
okay, it's
here's
4
the thing.
years.
Is it going to?
It's-
Is it going
I
to?
looked it
Okay,
up.
it's 4
It's
years.
E3
It's 4 years. You know,
2013.
I okay, and I just said my span time is like 10 to 12 months. So this is way above that. But here's the thing. Here's the concept here. I'm just reading here from Wikipedia that concepts for the game began as early as 2006.
Yeah.
Fuck this game already. So okay, here's the thing. Is it going to hold up to the expectations? Can it even? Do you mean it's possible that it can hold up to the expectations that people have of it for the last fucking
It
decade?
can. They just have to make the right calls. If there is not a Star Wars stage, they already have fucked up. I mean, that's
Okay.
something they should add. I mean, the whole final fight in the second game had so much beam saber stuff. If they don't put Star Wars in them, it's like they're shooting themselves in the knee. Like,
Okay, I get it. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
so from the look of it, it definitely fits. Story-wise, they pushed it so much with the spin-offs. I do feel it will kind of lack in that department just because they hyped with so many games this shit that I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
they
the
will manage
thing,
to
yeah.
keep it up. I hope that the game will be self-contained. They said it will finish the story of these first 2 games, and this part of Kingdom Hearts will be done with this main character. I won't believe it.
This part of Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, the franchise will live on, but it's supposed.
Yeah, of course it will live
it's
on.
supposed
Of course.
to make a cut to the current storyline, which I don't believe
boy.
it. I think, especially Sora and Rico have
It's
become
going to be a
too
fucking
famous.
mess. It's going to
so they won't stop. I won't believe it. It makes too much money.
They won't stop, and it's the story's already a mess, and they won't make sense of it. They don't even know what's going on anymore. So who fucking.
It's just,
Okay,
I just
that's a
hope they
podcast.
fix the gameplay issues, which were
Oh
lost.
yeah. Of course, it should be. I mean, whatever. The story can be whatever, right? But this is a video game. The gameplay should be fine.
Yeah,
It should
and
be
it's
fine.
just
And if it's
so
not,
frustrating.
if it's not, then the game sucks, and you should throw it out.
And I'm not
So-
a casual player. I always start at the hardest difficulty, and if I get frustrated if it's my own fault, then it's not a problem. But if it's the game fault for fucking up the AI or the gameplay mechanics, then I'm getting pissed. So
You know, that's already a problem for me. If a fucking RPG has difficulty settings, that's when they already fucked up. I'm totally serious on this, knowing that Persona 5 did have that too, and I didn't like it because RPGs need to be easy at the start, and they need to tend to get harder and harder and harder, and have some super difficult moments in the story. It should be that way. The game should teach you how to really play it, and that it doesn't forgive you in the 100th hour if you fuck up. And this is what RPGs should be, and this is what they used to be. And now I go to Final Fantasy 15 and the game tells me, hey, do you want to play on easy? No, I don't want. Fuck you. That's what I want.
no, I don't want you.
Sorry,
to
I had to
Final
rant
Fantasy
about that.
15, there's only male characters.
Huh?
I don't want you to fuck Final Fantasy 15. There's only male characters.
Well. I don't. Final Fantasy 15, man.
Well, it's a good start. It's a good start to end this.
Yeah, I think the E3 so far was fine. I'm hoping that Nintendo has a lot cool stuff to show, and I hope Sony and Ubisoft have some cool things also.
So I'm the only one.
We'll see about that.
I'm looking forward to Sony because there are possible interesting games they could release. But
Okay, fair enough.
Nintendo, I don't really care about. For the last 10 years, I didn't care about Nintendo.
Yeah, for the last 10 years I didn't care also, but this year I do care because I like the Switch and I do want to see cool titles for it. That's all I want to see from them. Okay, so that's a podcast. We will hear you at the next episode of the Pixels and Panels podcast, PNPP. And yeah, see you then. See you next time. Yeah, let's do the best.